So a lot of folks these days are mad at Twitter for banning Donald Trump, whether they support him or not. And a lot of folks are mad at Amazon Web Services for dropping Parlay, whether they support it or not. And this isn't about whether those were good or bad moves, but it's a larger concern about what's next. And there's an easy way, I think, to fix it. Own your stuff. You've probably heard the phrase, if it's a free service, you're not the customer, you're the product. And it's true. On Facebook, Twitter, Parler, any others, they need your data in order to sell ads to pay their bills. Some do it better than others, but it's always true. But here's my solution. Set up your own blog and share it with the world. With a few tweaks, you can somewhat mimic social media, but in a way that you have 100% control over, no matter what happens. A key to this is not using a free service. My suggestions will cost you about $10 a year for your domain name, plus around $15 a month for hosting. But at that point, it's yours. And here's the best part. Even if your host gets mad and kicks you off, you can move to a new host in a matter of minutes. Parler's in bad shape because of their complexity of their site and the reliance on Amazon-specific tools, and really it'd be difficult for a huge company to overcome that unless they build and own the infrastructure too, which is a whole different conversation. However, if it's a distributed network of sites like I'm suggesting here, there's no big business that can dictate what you do. I have a course listed in the description below for how to get started, but there are other places to learn how to do it as well. Just don't use the free WordPress.com, and we'll talk about that in a bit, or a hosted service like Squarespace, because they still own you at the end of the day. Earlier this year, you saw America's frontline doctors build a Squarespace site and have it taken away, and they were toast for a while because they were reliant on Squarespace's proprietary platform. Now, I should note, I have no problem with Squarespace, but in the context of this issue, they're as likely as anyone else to kick you out. So if you go through and set up your own blog, again, using the link in the description below or any way you want to do it, you built your blog and you're publishing, but it just doesn't feel like social media yet. And it never fully will, but we'll do two things that will help. So first, RSS is the glue to all this. And I won't get into the technical details of that, but basically it allows you to pull in the latest blog posts from any blog on the internet. You don't have to go blog to blog to blog to see what's new. You can just see everyone's latest post in one place. From there, you can click through to their site and leave a comment on the post if they allow discussions. For an example here, we can click through to Football Zebra. So you can see my list of posts down the page. I've actually read everything today, so I have two new ones, but this is a list of things I've read. Let's say we click on NFL Wildcard Live Blog from Bears and Saints. I go to their site, and I can leave a comment, not unlike social media. So it's not as integrated or as easy as traditional social media, but it's in the neighborhood and puts you in 100 times better situation. The other beauty of RSS, you can easily move to a different reader as well. So if Feedly decides to kick you off, you can go get a new reader. Up in the corner here, if I view my sources, I can click this export button, and it gets me a small little OPML file, which you don't have to know what it is. It's just, you can take that file to any other reading platform, plug it in, and have all your stuff followed again. It's beautiful. And this is kind of the key. If you ever move your site, the people that follow you won't know. It'll still be at the same address and the same link and the same feed. You just moved to a different host. If you ever have to move your feed reader, the sites you follow won't know or won't care or won't break. Both are seamless moves you can make anytime you want, whenever you need to make it. Right now, I see a ton of people on Facebook saying, follow me on this other network, but it's the same story. They're going to have the same issues likely on those other networks. We're already seeing that with some of them. And really, the user needs to rebuild their following. They lose their post history, and you start over every time. With this approach, it all comes with you, no matter what happens. With both your blog and your RSS subscriptions, you can literally save it to a file and put it on your computer or on a thumb drive or whatever. It is 100% yours, and you can relaunch on a different host and have every bit of your stuff in perfect condition. You're not having to rebuild your network every time and miss all the content you had before. It's all yours. Of course, this has a couple caveats, price being one of them. This is not free. It's cheap, but not free. But privacy is the other one. Facebook and some of those really have pretty good privacy controls, not in terms of what Facebook can see. We're avoiding that and solving that issue, but in terms of you controlling what other people can see. By its nature, RSS feeds are completely public and literally anyone can follow you. So for posting photos of your kids and stuff, I don't have a great solution for that. There are plugins you can add to help with that, but that kind of gets messy pretty quickly. So that's kind of a thing we'll have to figure out as things go forward, but we solve most of it here. And that kind of brings us to the core of this. Signing up for an account on Facebook or on Twitter or on MeWe is dead simple and it's completely free. What I'm suggesting you do is going to take an hour or two and it's going to cost you a bit of money. Very little money, but not zero. You can jump from network to network if you want, but the same issues will likely keep coming up. You just need to decide if it's worth the cost to do it right or not.